it's ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Thursday, July 15th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. Oh, so good to see everybody. Come on in. I am so ready to get my coloring on tonight, you wouldn't believe. All right. So good to see everybody that'll be coming in. Welcome to my lurkers on Facebook who watch but don't pop into the room. That's okay. As long as you're watching and enjoying yourself, that's good. And welcome to my viewers who chat in the room with me. That is fantastic. And of course, welcome to my YouTube viewers who watch this when I upload it to YouTube. But keep in mind, guys, that in the Facebook group, after my live is done, it goes to video in Facebook as well. So there's lots of places you can watch me. Okay. So today I am working on Fairies and Fantasy, and this is by Christine Karron, K-A-R-R-O-N. She's got two books. I've got both versions of it. Lovely book. And I've got Hello Autumn. I've been working on a project, two projects with that. Finished the one, just about to finish the other one, and that's by Demetria Victoria. So we are in really good shape. All right, let me double check something here. Hi, Sandy. How are you? Good to see ya. Let me know that you can hear me. Always got to check the volume and make sure I'm broadcasting, that there aren't any problems. Wanda, hello. Wanda, good to see ya. Okay, good. Sandy says she rewatched the sunset video. Okay, good. Good to see everybody. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our coloring on. Working on different projects. Again, the Hello Autumn and the Fairy and Fantasy. Okay. La-da-dum. I hope everybody's having a relatively decent day, a calm one. Okay, the picture of the girl, is that from the Life Escapes book? Yes, it is. You're talking about this one? Yep, it sure is. Life Escapes collection number 3. Hi, Rita. Okay, so I'm going to continue on Fairy and Fantasy, and then I'll pop back over to this. I am almost done with this one. I think this one's turning out really well. All right. This one that I'm coloring right here, this is from Fairy and Fantasy. That was the one I just mentioned. That's this one. Okay. Because I'm coloring 2 pictures with girls. Alright. And I need you guys to sit tight for 1 second because I got to grab a book. I want to show you something. Okay, the question came up the other day, yesterday I believe, and I believe it was you, Sandy. The difference between line art and grayscale. And Denise Boyer, who is an author and a very close friend in this group, explain the difference. And I'm going to read this to you so that you guys know. Very short explanation. Alright, so she was talking about her book here, and I want to show you some of her images. Everybody see this? That's got this coloring in it here? And shading. Oh, remember I was doing this one? That's a beautiful picture. Alright, so let's clear up the difference between grayscale and line art. So she says, folks may unintentionally describe the artwork in this book as grayscale, but that would not be correct. True grayscale coloring books take photographs or drawings and illustrations that are already in color. Then they wash the color out to leave behind gray tones in the shading and highlights, which the coloring hobbyist would add back in with colors of their choice. So I want to make sure everybody understands that. And actually, I'm going to post this in my group. So grayscale is from photographs. Think of it as those old-fashioned photographs that were in black and white that you see. So that's what that is. So this is not grayscale, this is line art, and this has been shaded. Now I understand that some people call it grayscale. It really isn't, but that's what some people interpret it as. Okay, good, Sandy. I was thinking of that book yesterday, and I wanted to show that to you. All right. Before you color, can we see a few of the other pics? What are you talking about? And Wanda's correct. Grayscale can also be made from a photograph of a painting. And Ruth Sanderson does that a lot, and they are absolutely gorgeous. Actually, okay, I'll do a quick riffle through. I did a flip through of this book, Sandy, and what you need to do is do a search in the group. So what I would suggest that you do is you go and you look and do a search, okay? So I'll show you a few pages because I've already done this. But it's a pretty good book. And the other thing, you can always go to YouTube as well and search the title. And there's flip-throughs on YouTube as well. Yeah. But here, I'll give you a few ideas. Cute. All right? All right. Da, 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 da. Alrighty, I'm sorry, I'm just putting something back together here. You're welcome, Sandy, always. Glad to help. Alright, let me get the clip back on my book so I can keep this little puppy together. There we go. Alright, so I'm working on my little lady here. And I'm pulling my alcohol markers because I want to work on her dress. Hello, Mary. And right now I'm deciding, let's see, how vivid I want to do that dress. Mary, how's your day been going? Da, da, da. And at the moment I am deciding, let me see here, give me a moment. Now remember, when you're picking out alcohol markers, they tend to be pretty dark. So what you want to do is you want to pick out colors that are somewhat lighter, at least is the way the cap shows it, and then make your decision from there. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the darker blue just to show you how that works. Mary says that they got x-rays of Ben's spine today, and that she is now relaxing. Well, good. I hope that went well. Okay, one of the things that you want to do when you are using markers is you want to go with your lighter colors if you are going to use colored pencil with them. But sometimes you just want to go with a nice dark color. And I'm choosing to go with a nice dark color. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. So let's go ahead and start that up. And what I want you to see on this is, as we're doing this, that the shading of this illustration is still going to show through. And you can see that because the blue is lighter up here at the top, where we don't have the gray shading that the artist put in. Zoom in. So I don't want you to be afraid of using marker with these. But remember that when you go over an area more than once, that's going to darken it. So that really is the only caveat on that little guy. All right. So let's go ahead and work down this dress. I don't want people to be afraid of their alcohol markers or their water-based markers. They are absolutely wonderful, guys. They truly are. So right now I'm going to work in my tight areas and get this done. La da da, la da da dum. Oh, Sandy says she gets her markers and gel pen set Saturday. Wanda, did you ever get that ballerina book that you were talking about from Life Escapes? La-da-dum. Okay, now these come, yeah, I mentioned the other day to you, I think you'll like it. I'm just using a little bit of the blender that comes with it, the set, just to blend out any of those lines. La-da-dum. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Everybody see how beautiful that's looking. And again, you'll notice in the areas that are shaded a little bit darker, the marker is darker. So even though I'm using a darker shade, you can still see the shading underneath. Zoom out. Yeah, one thing I noticed, Wanda, about that site for the life escapes, you know how when you scroll through and there's like a bazillion books and it really takes a long stroll. And the thing that I noticed is if you go into the book, you know, click on it and then go back out, it takes you back to the top. Drives me crazy. Zoom in. Now guys, I don't want you to be afraid of your alcohol markers. They're fabulous. Alright, I just got to figure out, oh, that's dragon. I almost made a blue dragon. Now, one of the things that will help you get rid of streaks also is if you take your time when putting the marker on. Okay, and this is her dress. And if it wasn't, it is now. Zoom out. Look how beautiful that is. And guys, do you see how it's lighter right here? See, that marker does not obliterate it. And see how it's darker in here by the neck. Please do not be afraid of your markers, your alcohol markers. Da-da-da. Now, here's a little, I know this green critter is beautiful. Hi, Pearly. And here's a little trick for you. just in case you get streak marks, I want you to notice how I'm curving my marker so it actually looks like it's part of the material. And I want you to be aware that you can do that with your markers, is you can incorporate and use them this way to make patterns. Everybody see that little trick? Oh, the things you guys learn here. Now, if I wanted to, I could go back through and blend that in, and I'm not going to do that. I want that to look like the material. Everybody catch that little trick? There you go. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do that on this side as well. And also remember, we've got the blender that we can use to take out these streaks if you don't like them. And you can also take a colored pencil that is the same color and color out those streaks. But like I said, I'm not going to do that because I am choosing to embrace what this marker is doing. Are you guys impressed? Sometimes I even surprise myself. Ah, joking. And again, guys, take your time. Isn't that neat? Zoom out. Zoom out. Now, I've colored this outfit a little differently. I could have made this dress part on the top a little different, and then the sleeves, or the sleeves a different color. And I just decided not to do that. So I'm going to concentrate on making the little poofs. A different color. Totally up to you. Now, I will tell you, for anybody that's new to alcohol markers, they do take a little bit of getting used to. And you're going to flub with them. That's okay. I've got little nubbies all the way up the side here that I gotta get rid of. There you go. Zoom in. Now, the dark part right here on the sleeve, I'm going to go ahead and come back over with the same marker. Now, it was already darker, okay? I'm just kicking it up a little more now. Because remember, when you go back over an area with your marker, it darkens that color. And in these little divots here, we'll go ahead and darken that just a little bit, just to shade that. And the neat thing is the marker absorbs into the paper, so it pretty well lets you do that, is darken these areas. Hello, Renee Bunker. Welcome. Zoom out. Renee, welcome to our live chat. Okay, so I've got a lighter blue marker here, alcohol based. Renee, I'm so glad you could make it. Don't be shy about chatting, asking questions. We have a good time. Zoom in. Zoom in. All right, so we've got a little bit of a curl here that we don't want to lose. And what I want you to notice too is the marker will go on a little bit, if you've got, if you've already colored in an area and you add new marker, it's going to be a little darker. So you need to wait for that to dry to see how it dries. And that's another way your streaks are going to go away. People like their alcohol markers because the streaks tend to go away. Okay, Wanda. Thank you. It's always appreciated when you're in here. If you are stepping away, just do BRB, be right back. Zoom out. Hi, Rhonda. I was wondering where you were. Hi, everybody. Just got back from dinner with my daughter and granddaughter. Yay. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back in with my same marker. Zoom in. And I'm going to go back over some of these shaded areas. See how I'm doing that? Now, the shaded area already is indicated there, and you can see it, right? But I'm going to enhance it by going over a second time with my markers. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. See these little curls? Zoom in. I'm sorry, not curls, folds. We're going to go ahead and darken those a little bit. Same over here. And then I'm going to darken on these shaded areas. And the thing is, guys, the darkening in is so subtle. It really is. You barely notice it, but that's what makes it look so cool. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Anybody have any questions so far? Okay, so I'm going to make this part of the sleeve a light blue as well. I just want to give you an overall view. And notice again that I'm going with the flow of the fabric. See that? And I'm already going over my darker areas, my shaded areas with my marker again. Hey, I'm here, I might as well do it. Zoom in. Hello, Ashley. Zoom in. Zoom in. The technique that works best for me is you always want to stroke in the direction of whatever you're coloring. And that's very apparent on fabric, okay? So I'm going to darken that just a little bit, darken that. Oh, how pretty. And if you need to go back again and dab in some of that shading on the darker areas, go ahead. It's just like with your pencil, you're doing it by degrees, right? Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. La-dum. And you guys remember what I told you about your markers, that if you have them in your marker bag, turn the bag upside down every once in a while? Okay, now I like to start with my lightest marker in this situation. Zoom in, zoom in. And then, because that way I can go back in and I can shade however I want. And again, just be careful about going over the same area more than once unless you specifically want to. So your first layer needs to be as clean as possible. And sometimes what I'll do to avoid streaking is I'll do little circles. Let me show you that technique. Zoom in. I'll just do little circles. And that'll help keep that even. Okay, so I'm going to go along the edge because I want that darker. Oh boy, did we have a storm today, I'll tell you. I mean, it just blew through here, and now it's perfectly clear and sunny. Ashley says hail and tornado warnings. Yep. Okay. Little area here. All right, now that inside of the sleeve is going to be darker. So my choice is a darker marker. Which is what I'm going to do, or repetitive strokes. So I'm going to go with the darker marker. And then I'm going to darken it a little bit more by going over that shadow area a couple times. And let's go ahead and do the inside of the other sleeve as well. And darken my shaded areas. Now, the thing that I want you guys to pick up from this, in addition to the marker technique, is this. You can emulate this coloring with your pencils. So I want you to learn from the shading on this. And see where it's shaded and where it's not shaded. So let me go back to this first sleeve, and I'm going to darken right by the edge here. And keep in mind that you really can't blend that out. That's going to be it. Hi, Sherry. Now, you can use your blender a little bit to smooth that out, but for the most part, it's there. So that's the different touch that you have with markers. Now, you can lighten your touch with the tip of your brush, and you can flick your color. If you flick your pen, that keeps it from soaking in. So that's another little technique to help lighten that. See how I got a really nice shaded area on here? Zoom out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my white pencil and I'm just going to kiss it with a little bit of this white, just to lighten that ridge. Okay? And I'm going to do it on this sleeve as well. Sherry, so glad to see you here. All right, and let's go ahead and whiten this just a little bit on the collar. Keep it loosey-goosey. See how I'm kind of curving this right here? You don't want to draw straight lines, guys. Otherwise it looks weird. And please, guys, any questions, ask. Ask. And if you have some techniques of your own that you've used with marker, please share. That's what we do here. Okay. We are family. Da, 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 da. Oh, don't get me going. Okay. Zoom in. Now, earlier when I made my little stroke marks here with my marker that I'm not worried about, this is where it's going to pay off. Because now I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom of my dress. And I'm doing this in a different direction, right? So now I really have a nice distinguishing line between the dress and the sleeve. Because of those strokes. And what I'm doing is I'm going from top to bottom. I'll go to the top, go to the right a little bit, go down, go to the right a little bit, come up, go to the right a little bit, come down. See how that's coming out? Now, if you don't want to do the up and down, you can just go up to the top and then come down, go up to the top, come down, up to you. Zoom out. And even with this darker blue, we're going to see that shading. Marker is basically transparent, translucent, let's say. Now, I've got dress at the top here, so I'm going to go up, skip, go up. Isn't that beautiful? Zoom in. And the reason that I did that is because I wanted to establish the direction of my line at the top. In other words, I had to have it going in the same direction. Now I'm just going to run this parallel. All right. And now I've got to start changing direction here with the skirt. And try not to color over his little bumpies there. And notice that when I need to swing and change direction, that I'll use like a pivot point. So I'll keep with my marker and go back up to that same point, but go out a little further as I go on the bottom. There we go. Zoom out. Okay. Zoom out. Questions, comments? All right, now I'm looking for a pencil here, color, specific color. Excuse my arm. All right, now I've got to find a pencil. Bear with me for 1 minute. Bearing. So do you guys feel comfortable so far with what I'm doing? As far as you being able to do it? Alcohol markers are not scary. It's just a different technique. Just like with water-based markers, it's just a different technique. Give me a second, guys. I gotta find a specific pencil. There we go. All right, now zoom in. Remember when I told you there's a technique that you can use? I mean, I've got my blender, but I'm going to use my Faber-Castell pencil. I've matched the color. And what I'm going to do now is very lightly zoom in. I'm very lightly going to go over my areas. And I want you to see now how those streaks will disappear. And not only that, you can also play with the shading. All right, see these streaks right here that I've got? Now, I could leave them to match the sleeve, but I wanted to show you how you can repair out streaks if you get them with your alcohol markers. Now, you might say, well, doesn't that defeat the purpose? No, because the alcohol marker, exactly, Wanda, they do look like texture in the fabric. And that's how I left it on the sleeve. But I'm doing this for an object lesson. It does not defeat the purpose because the alcohol marker adds to the wax pencil. Because if I were just doing this with the wax pencil, trust me, you would not have as smooth as a surface. Yeah, Wanda, if I were doing this myself, I would not have gone over it with the pencil. But like I said, I'm doing this to make a point. All right, everybody see the difference? Exactly, Rhonda, it looks rich. That's the thing with alcohol markers, is they look rich. And then, of course, you plop your finger on there and just do a little bit of soft blending. Okay, everybody see the difference between these two sides? So if you're doing a coloring just like a woman's gown or something like this, alcohol markers would be great. See how I'm closing that in? Zoom out. Before, after. And it only takes a little bit of pencil. And like I said, if I were just doing this with the pencil on normal paper, I'd have to be blending it with my blender pencil to get the popcorn effect out. There we go. Now, normally I also would have left a little white area in here, but I wanted to show you how this pencil over marker works. So now you can go back, or I'm going to go back, and you can start adding. Hi, Amy. And then, of course, you really want to blend that because you want it to look soft. Good to see you, Amy. Welcome back. And I am barely touching this with my white pencil. Come in light, guys, remember? Zoom out. pretty, pretty, pretty. All right, let me grab a little bit of water. Don't be afraid of your alcohol markers, guys. They're a beautiful, beautiful enhancement. So Amy says she's been busy with work, taking next week off. Woohoo! Going up to Donner Lake, California, Saturday for 4 days with family. A much needed break from reality. Yep. Zoom out. That's the catchphrase I should use for this group. A much needed break from reality. Oh my. Okay, now I'm going to use my white pencil and smooth out my lighter areas on my puff sleeves. The marker accepts colored pencil over the top very nicely. Zoom in. So Amy, can you spend the evening with us here? Okay, zoom in. Zoom in. So another little area now that I want to go ahead and pop in some white pencil is going to be on the top of these ruffles. And then use your finger just to gently blend that. Remember guys, when you're coloring, you want your coloring to look, gotta come up with a good word for this, realistic. And your best coloring is not going to have pencil strokes all over it. Zoom out. Does that make sense? All right. Zoom out. So now I'm going to go ahead and play around with this flower. Let's see what we want to do with that. Carolyn, hi. All right. La da da dum. La da dum. All right, let's get a nice pink here. Zoom in. Zoom in. So I'm going to go with a soft pink. This happens to be a Brett Funner confetti, they call it. Carolyn, are you ready for your MRI tomorrow? Sandy, I like the blending on the Brett Funner pencils. Sorry for the movement. Just kidding. Why do you ask, Sandy? All right. Now remember I told you not to do the same types of patterns on your flowers. Right off the edge. Dorothy, hello. Oh yeah, I'm using one of my new ones now. I love them, Wanda. Dorothy, Dorothy, welcome, welcome. They're soft, they're creamy. I think they blend really well. Don't you just love it how I just slowly slide off camera range? Okie dokie smoky, excuse my arm. Now, the one thing that I did find about the naming of these pencils, because people get hung up on that sometimes, Brett Funner doesn't name them necessarily to the color. For example, this next pencil that I'm using, it's called Aurora. What does that mean? It's a yellow. So they just name them stuff. So I have no idea that Aurora means what. You know, what? Aurora Borealis? Aurora Green? Blue? Okay, so now I'm taking my yellow and I'm popping right over the top of my pink. And that's another way to blend for those of you that are new. Now remember, if you blend with a pencil like this with a different color, it changes the color of your original color. So that's the only caveat, that you got to make sure that you're happy with that, okay? You can blend over this stuff with white if you want. And welcome, welcome, welcome to all our new people that are popping in. Feel free to chat us up and ask questions and contribute information. Okay, so now I've got a really nice hue of an orangey color. Yellow and pink make what? Orange. And you may say, well, why not just grab an orange pencil? Well, because this is going to be a unique color. The oil pencils are harder to blend. Okay, for you, Wanda? So I'm going to use my blender pencil just to soften the whole shebang. Zoom out. And again, guys, for new people, please do not be shy to ask if you need any information about stuff. Good grief, that's exactly why, well, one of the reasons I'm here. Now, I'm going to take a brighter pink, zoom in, and I'm going to put in some little strands of that pink. Everybody see how I'm doing that? And you've heard me say on numerous occasions that I like doing flowers because in nature you come up with all sorts of patterns. So it's kind of hard to screw them up. And any new members that are watching, please be sure that you pop into announcements and read in there. That is so important. We got a number of things going on. And guys, don't be afraid to go bold with your flowers. See how I'm adding all these extra streaks of the color? Now, I'm not doing this willy-nilly, right? I'm following the layout of the flower. And trust me, you know what looks good to you. You got to remember when a colorist colors, they are coloring to what they think looks good, right? So follow your heart when you're coloring and quit questioning yourself and doubting yourself. Zoom out. And the number one piece of advice that I would suggest to you is be sure that you get your blending down, your blending techniques. Okay, so I'm emphasizing this darker pink in the core of the flower. And I'm thinking that looks pretty cool right now. Zoom out. Zoom out. And we've got gems to do. Woo-hoo-hoo. Zoom out. So what do you guys think so far? All right. And when I say, what do you guys think? I'm not really asking for an opinion on my work. I'm asking for an opinion on you using the techniques that you're learning and coloring this stuff yourself. All right. Yeah, Rhonda, yes, you really need to work on your blending, sweetie. Vicky, come here. Excuse me a minute, guys. Come here, sweetie. Look, lay down right there. Look. Lay down. Lay down. Come on. There you go. Lay down. There you go. Oh, see? Poor Vicky. She lays down right next to my chair, my rolling chair. And every time that I push out to get something or do something, she's gotta jump up. So I'm trying to teach her not to do that. And yes, the more you color, the better you get. And I want you to stop criticizing yourself on your pieces. You know, just knock it off, you guys. Color, look, listen to me. As long as you have done your best, that's all that matters. And for gosh sakes, stop comparing yourself. If you're relatively new to coloring, comparing yourself and your coloring techniques is like a 12th, well, a 6th grader comparing themselves to college. See, Amy says that's how she feels. I feel I've gotten better. Yeah. Now see, I'm just kind of playing with this a little bit. Guys, you are not in a competition with your coloring, especially in this group. Zoom in. Okay, and listen to what Wanda just said. Everyone has to develop their own style. That's right. Number 1. And 2, learn the basics and then find your own way. Exactly. It's like taking a car trip. If you and I are going to California from New York, some of you may want to go south, some of you may want to go, you know, mid-country. Some of you may want to pop up north into Canada. It doesn't matter, guys. Amy, yeah, backgrounds are not difficult, and I have done a lot of them. Have you watched some of the videos, sweetie? Okay, black pen. So I'm going to take my black pen. No, I'm not. I'm going to take my black Sharpie marker. And I'm going to add little dots. Isn't that cool? That means I'm done blending this one. Zoom in. Isn't that pretty? Zoom out. Thank you, Wanda. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay, and the other thing I want you guys to pick up on, you notice now how my colors are starting to minimize the impact of the different colors on the face, which drove you guys nuts crazy last night when I did this on her skin. Wanda goes, ILene, why? No! I love it when she does that. All right. Wanda says she's working on a vibrant red flower with yellow highlights. Good. All right, zoom in. Thank you, Amy. I love her skin too. And there's more coming. You know that from me. Zoom in. Now again, and I've said this a bazillion times, so Sandy says she's working on the sunset in the sky from Hello Autumn. Okay. You guys might not like what I'm coloring. You may not like dragons. You may not like women with different color skin. Fine. But I want you to learn the technique. And then whatever method you use is up to you. That's why I don't want you blowing in here just to see what I'm coloring and then blowing out again because you don't like it. If you do, you're shorting yourself. What color do I use for normal skin? I've got flesh colored pencils that I use. Sandy, do a search on skin in the group, and that'll bring up my videos where I've done skin. There's really no one color to use. It depends on the ethnicity of the person I'm coloring. I've done African American, I've done Native American, so there's no one answer to that, Sandy. So what's important about skin is learning the technique and then using whatever colors you want. All right, let me find my light pink. And Sandy, you'll learn that as you go along. Exactly that. You need to learn the technique. And then apply it to all situations. Okay. Now, as far as choosing the colors for this skin, I'm not willy-nilly choosing colors. If you notice, this is a These are pastels, basically. The yellows, the blues, the pinks, the lighter colors. So what I'm saying is, don't put a pastel color with a neon. That would look kind of weird. Okay. Now, I want very soft look on this. I'm using the side of my blender pencil. And I'm very, very lightly blending. I'm not pressing hard at all. I'm just doing this enough to get any popcorn out of it. And popcorn is that white stuff that shows through because the pencil doesn't go all the way down into the paper. Zoom in. Zoom in. Now, the other point that I want to make to you too about coloring is when you're looking at images that are completed, especially from the artist, you may be looking at the actual painting of it or something that was done on Procreate, which means you are not going to match it exactly, the look of it. And I talked a lot about this on my Thomas Kinkade Disney books. They're guides, because those pictures they show you are oil paintings. And you are not going to get yours looking exactly like that. So stop trying, guys. You're just going to set yourself up for emotional failure. Zoom out. Sandy says her dog was tapping at the water dish for you to fill it. Oh, we love our blighters. Zoom out. Okay, now white pencil over the top of this very lightly because I want to soften this and I want to merge my colors, the edges anyway. Zoom in, zoom in. And where am I holding my pencil, guys? And why am I holding it there? Middle to back. Zoom out. All right, everybody see how soft this is getting now? And to get a very light touch at the end, that's right. Okay, so I'm going to go down to the chest area. and soften in that pink and the edges and the blue and the purple. Oh, and guys, I want to thank you guys again for continuing to contribute to the book project for the kids. Thank you so much. Don't short yourself, but if you can do the $9, that takes care of a kid for a year for books. And do you see now how her face is getting softer and softer? Now, don't overblend. You don't want your colors turning to mush and looking murky and gray and, you know, all of that stuff. But you do want to do it enough that it looks very soft. And I'll tell you what would have been ideal for this. Sandy, thank you for sending yours. But like I said, guys, do not short yourself, please. I know money's tight. Samantha, oh my gosh, she lives for her kids, guys. Sandy, do me a favor and send her a text that you sent your money so she knows to look for it, please. And again, guys, you know that I don't ever post stuff like that in my group. I don't allow solicitations, but this one was special. So I made an exception for it. Rhonda, the address is in the original post. I don't have it at the tip of my fingers. You can also text her and ask her for it. But it is in the original post. So look for the post with the hearts. Okay, everybody see now I'm blending. And see how beautiful and soft now these colors are getting. Yeah, and like I said, if you guys, when you send money, yeah, she has PayPal, she has Venmo, and you can also do it through Facebook Pay, which means you messenger, and then you click other, and then it's got a little dollar thingy, and it lets you send money that way. That's how I sent mine. Okay, everybody see how soft this face is getting now as I'm blending it? Now notice that I'm leaving the eyes basically unblended, the eyeshadow. Sandy says, I would have never thought to color a face like that, but seeing you do it makes me think differently. Oh, yeah. That's why I got this book for you guys, because the artist does it, and I wanted to show you the technique. Oh man, this is so pretty. And like I was saying, eyeshadow would work beautifully with this. Chalks would look beautifully with this. Gelatos would look beautiful, work beautifully with this. Knock yourselves out, guys. Okay. And I'm taking the time to blend this in front of you because I want you to see the transformation and how soft this is getting. I'm having way too much fun with this piece. It makes me smile. Would water markers work? Yeah, if you do, yeah. You put the marker on and you have to immediately smear it with your finger like I taught you and showing you guys in the videos. You can't put the marker on and just leave it. You've got to smudge it with your finger right away. All right. Clean up a little spot there. Zoom out. Oh my gosh, guys, look at that. Pretty. Okay. Let's tickle a baby dragon now. We're gonna tickle a dragon. All right, zoom in, zoom in. Now notice that I didn't color the ear yet. I'm still deciding what I want to do with that. But what I'm doing now is I'm taking my medium green and I am enhancing his skin now. So I want you to remember, basically, when you color stuff, you're going to use a light, a medium, and a dark of whatever color scheme you've chosen. I love that flower in her hair. Can you use pencil over watercolor markers? Absolutely. I do it all the time. I've used pencil over gelatos. I've used pencil over alcohol markers. Now these little spikes here, I'm coloring off to the side with my medium green. You'll see why in a minute. I use pencils over everything. And I've also used markers over pencil, which there are some people say you shouldn't do that. I do it. And the reason I do it is because when you lay pencil down on paper, you've in effect put a wax coating on there. Oil pencils still have wax in them, guys. It's just the percentage of the wax to oil. So when you go to use your water markers over your colorings like this, you can spread it really easily. And again, I've left the eyes alone for the moment. And that's because I may play with different colors over the area. Don't know yet. You know, bottom line, guys, is try not to get preconceived ideas of coloring in your projects. General ideas, fine. But I wouldn't go in with a preconceived idea. We could have made this dragon purple, right? Pink, brown, orange. I really had to do green though, it was too cute. Does that make sense what I'm telling you? Yes, no, maybe. All right. Excuse me. Let me grab a little water. Now, I'm using my medium green all over that bottom color that I started with. That's one of the things I like about marker, is that you can put your base color in and then you use pencils over it and it picks up the scheme beautifully. This lighter green, this medium green would be totally different on its own. La-da-dum. And again, don't let your colors get streaky, guys. Okay, Amy, thank you. And I'm going to color that area in a little darker right now because it's basically shaded. Zoom out. Zoom out. La-da-dum. Zoom in. Now see how I put that line right here in the dragon? Author didn't put it in, I did. That way it ends up looking a little more folded. All right. La-da-dum. Are you guys enjoying watching me color this dragon as much as I'm enjoying coloring it? What do you think? Zoom in. Zoom in. All right, sit tight a minute, guys. Zoom in. Zoom in. All right. All right. And this is where now that I'm taking my darkest green Rhonda, do me a favor and say something. I may have lost comments. And now I'm going to start shading and Adding texture now to my little dragon. So I've used a light, a medium, and a dark green. Yeah, Rhonda, I can see it. All right, Wanda says froze up for a few. Okay, thank you. So my darkest green now. Both as a shading tool and also to come in over the top a little bit of my previous colors. And again, if it looks a little streaky right now, that's temporary, right? I'm just placing my colors and my shading. Let's get that nose in there nice and bold. I'll go ahead and color the other side of it. And then I'm going to use my darkest green along my edges. Remember, dragons don't have black lines. And then I'm going to work that in shade-wise, blending. Zoom out. Zoom out. And we'll shade right in here as well. Good night, Pearlie. Time for me to say goodnight. Watched and learned, and now I need to get the markers. Sharpies are not enough. Okay. Are you going to get the oh-hoo-hoos? And be sure that you make sure that you get the ones that have the brush and the chisel tip, because there are different versions of them. And if you're interested, I believe I've got them on the affiliate list, Pearl. If not, text me if you're interested in buying through that. All right. Zoom in. Oh, Sandy said she got the ones off the affiliate list. Thank you, Sandy, on behalf of the group. Yeah, Sandy, I know you've spent a lot off that list. Holy cow, thanks, ILene. We'll talk soon, says Pearly. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. Does that get a TSC? A too stinking cute? Okay, very, very light blending with the side of my blender pencil rather than the point. I just want enough blending to smooth this out and not rub away the different shades that I've put in there. Rhonda said she almost slapped her own hand for pressing too hard. Good. Doggone it, yes. Oh my gosh, guys, see how smooth that dragon skin is? Zoom in. Zoom in. Look how beautifully blended that looks. Absolutely adorable. See how smooth that skin looks, guys. That's when you know that you've got a really good coloring going on. No sharp breaks between colors. Zoom out. Look at that, guys. That's what I wanted to show you, and that's what you want. No bumps, no lumps. Oh, man. Smooth as a baby's behind. Zoom out. There we go. This is why I want you to take your time, guys, and be selective where you start. Excuse my hand. Zoom out. Yeah. Isn't that cute? I'm debating what to make the eyes. I am leaning towards the green, but you know, I don't know. Turquoise maybe. Okay. And now for something a little different. Let's see, we go here. Let's see what we can do here. Give me a second here while I put something away. La, da, da. Okay, Wanda. Thank you for telling me that you'll be right back. That was a weird interruption. Zoom in. Okay. La-da-da-dum. Okay, I feel like playing. Yeah, like I'm not playing already. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to play with her collar and her cuffs a little bit, just because I want to change things up. I'm in the mood. All right, I've got my sticker bling, or my rhinestone blings out, and my toothpick. Now I'm going to get dangerous. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, so I have 2 shades of purple stickies. Now, I want you always to consider that, to not just go with one, all right? And that'll give you a lot of neat looks and dimension on your piece. And you know, I always tell you that even though your stuff has sticky on it, that you always glue it down. Da-da-da-dum. So there's my darkest purple. And then I'm going to take a lighter purple and pop that on there. And also remember, please, that when you put your stuff on, tap it to make sure that it seats right on the paper. Oh, Sandy, you added the birds to the sky. Good for you. Yay. Yes, I am proud of you. Excuse my arm. La-dum. Everybody see where I'm going with this? And Sandy, I hope you add more pen and ink things to your pieces. And again, don't worry about the little extra glue squishing around there. Zoom out. La-da-dum. 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 Okay, so the darker rhinestones are darker and a little bit larger. And I thought that this would look really cool. You'll have to tell me what you think. Zoom in. Now you guys know that I tell you not to get zoom in, zoom in, to get stupid with your add-ons, right? Because it's just going to look cheap then. Keep your pieces classy. You want your add-ons to absolutely look like they belong and not like you added it just to add something. Make sense? Do any of my lurkers have any questions about what I'm doing? Zoom out. Look at that. Oh, too cute. All right. So let's go ahead and work on my other little gems. Actually, with that glue, I could have put clear gems with these dark purple. That would have looked cute too. And that brings up another point, guys. Don't get hung up in patterns of coloring, please. And habits. Ashley says, so excited for back to school shopping deals. What kind of shopping deals, Ash? Zoom in. Usually Prisma Sharpies and mixed media paper go on sale, plus pen cases and all that fun stuff. There you go. I'll tell you what, back in the day, I remember when school used to start in September. That was always the start of school. Am I the only one thinking that this collar looks drop dead gorgeous? Which is fine. I hope you guys can hear this music, because if you can't, you're going to wonder why I'm doing my la-da-da-dums. And again, we could have gone with clear little gems around these purples, which would look just as sweet. Looking sweet. La-da-dum. And my question to you guys is, would you do something like this? Yes or no? La-da-dum. I don't want you to be resistant to something like this. Like I said, keep it classy, keep it contextual. So Rhonda says the dress and color, yes, the face, not yet. Okay, fair enough. I love this glitter, or not glitter, what's the bling? That's the word I wanted. On her collar. Zoom out. Zoom out. Oh man, guys, look at this. Sandy says, I definitely would do it eventually. Okay. So her answer is yeah. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. La-da. Da-da. I have to order another groups of these rhinestones. I've used up several colors of them now with the teeny tinies. There we go. So Wanda says, I'm thinking a base of regular skin tone with splashes of almost translucent colors on the face. Like the reflections of colors. Yeah, Wanda. There you go. And guys, that's my whole point for doing this, is to get you thinking about your own ways of how you would do this stuff. If I get you thinking about ways of coloring and doing stuff like this, I've done my job. Am I asking you to copy me? You can, if you want. But I want you to inject your own style into this. Wanda, if you ever want to give me a heart attack, post an image that has an add-on on it. I don't think I've seen one image of you having put an add-on like what I do. Which is fine. You know I'm just yanking your chain now. And again, guys, that's perfectly okay. Just not her style. There we go. I'm telling you, Wanda, if you ever submit a posting with something blinged onto it, you're gonna make me have a heart attack. Okay. So let's go ahead and get the rest of these little doohickeys on here. And I want to show you something else that I'm thinking about on the dragon. I won't do it tonight because I've got a couple more things that I want to do. Yeah, Wanda said now she did add some bling to the steampunk girl we did for Helen's contest. Yes, you did. Yeah, I definitely have to get some more of these. I love them. What I want you guys to do is to think outside of the box within the context of your coloring style. Zoom out. Zoom out. I got one more sleeve to do. Zoom out. Zoom out. What do you think so far? Now, one little thing I'm thinking of doing, but I'm not going to do it yet. Maybe a little bow on our dragon. Oh, there we go. Doesn't that look cool? Oh, yeah. And once we decide whether we have a boy or a girl, we could put the bow on. And if not a gender color, we could put a little bow, a black bow on. There you go. What do you think? Actually, I'll probably go with a color. I don't have any green, which is kind of weird. Yeah, a color balance of the flower would be great. I don't have yellow, so that would mean pink. And I think around the neck, maybe instead of up in the, I don't know, up in the hair would be fine too. So do you want it around the neck or do you want it around the hair? And I would lower it just enough that we could see the one horn maybe. We'll see. So guys, neck or hair? Let me know what you think. So far we have one hair and two necks. Okay. Zoom in. Zoom in. All right. Let's get her sleeve done. Rita, I don't have the choice of a smaller bow. That's all I've got. I agree, a smaller one would be ideal. Dita from San Antonio. Those are fighting words? What are fighting words? I'm sorry, what did I say? Da-dum. Okay, so now I got to put my little teeny tinies on and we'll be in good shape. Rita, what's fighting words? Da, 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 da. Okay. So let's go ahead and put our last little blingies on here. Right, Rita doesn't live in Texas. She lives in New Mexico. Yeah, San Antonio. San Antonio. Did I say Texas? Uh-oh. Brain fart. Oh, Santa Fe. Oh, jeez. Oh, I am so out of it. Good grief. Santa Fe, New Mexico. Good grief. Sorry, sweetie. Da, 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 da. My apologies. Okay. I know, Wanda. I have messed this up ever since she left Guatemala. You're right. I don't know why I keep messing it up. I'm going to put a sticky note on my forehead. How about that? Okay, sticky note on my forehead. I'm sorry, Rita. I messed it. I had a major senior moment. I know she will adjust. I'm just going to say Rita from Guatemala. How about this? Rita, who used to live in Guatemala. There we go. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Oh man, guys, look at that. I really do apologize, Rita. I'm sorry. So what do you guys think so far? And really, we don't have too much more to do on this, just the rest of the dragon, the hair. And what I'm also wondering, oh, I know, but it bothers me, Rita. It really does. Oh gosh, don't tell me that you have family in Texas now. That's really gonna mess me up. Okay. What do you guys think about this? Yay or nay? Zoom in. Oh, I know, Wanda, but I try really hard just to, listen, you guys know I love you to the ends of you guys to the ends of the earth. So I'm thinking, Rita says she'll go back to Guatemala. Oh, no, don't do that. Oh, yowza. Okay, one last little thing here. I am so happy with this, guys. Zoom out. So what I've done is I've taken one of my little silky flowers, cut off the bottom to the point that it's basically flat, and I'm going to add a little bit of glue. Zoom in. Now, like I said, guys, don't get stupid with your adornments, okay? You want just enough to make it look really nice, okay? So we'll get this centered, basically. Play around with it. All right, zoom out. Oh man, that looks good. Zoom out. There we go. Zoom out. There we go. So what do you think? Guys, be very, very tasteful in your adornments, okay? We don't want to, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want it to look like a sixth grader did it. So we put in just enough to make it look the way you want it to look. Now, like I said, okay, and two things. If I put that bow around that neck of that dragon, I don't care that I cover up that bling that I put on her sleeve. Zoom in. That's perfectly okay. It may happen if I, put the bow there. If I put it up on the head, that's fine. Whatever. But I think we've got everything looking tasteful. Zoom out. And I just want you guys to think about these possibilities for this stuff, okay? And I've got you thinking about these skin tones. Wanda's thinking about a project now, about some coloring. So Wanda, I would absolutely love to see your interpretation on something like that. Okay, any questions or comments? A girl with a pink and green face. All right, one last question. What color do you guys think I should do with the eyes? I'm thinking blue, turquoise. We'll see. So I love it. I showed you how to add pencil over marker to calm down your streaks if you need to. I've also showed you how to incorporate streaks with your marker to make it look like part of the dress. Wanda's thinking blue eyes for the girl. Rita says turquoise, aqua or turquoise. Here, sit tight a minute, guys. Give me about 10 more minutes. Zoom in. Oh, and turquoise for the dragon. Zoom in. Actually, I'm thinking of reversing that, Wanda, as I'll put blue for the dragon and turquoise on her eyes. And guys, don't forget I put that poll up, the yes or no poll, that next Wednesday I will pick a coloring to do, and it'll be 100% directed by you guys. All right, let me get a nice blue. Yeah, his eyes need to be dripping sweetness. Exactly. We need to figure out, should I put a little, maybe I'll put a little tear on it.